Hello, my name is Hillary Jacobs Hendel, and I'm a psychotherapist and an emotions educator. And today I'm going to be talking about perfectionism and perfection, the concept of and differentiating between striving for excellence, which is a wonderful quality, right? Something that comes from the core authentic self, a desire to try new things and be good at them, versus perfectionism, which is when the drive for excellence starts to have diminishing returns and actually costs us by raising anxiety and putting pressure on us and causing us to start to obsess and ruminate. And so we want to take a look at the change triangle now. So if you don't have that handy, maybe Google a picture of the change triangle just to differentiate that. If you see at the bottom underneath the triangle, there's this part called the open-hearted state of the authentic self. We want our drive and our desire to come from our own agency in what we want, not outside forces that are stressing us out and driving us like many of us had when we were young children, right? Where our parents didn't slow down to really see us and hear us, they just drove us. So we're going to be talking about perfectionism as a defense, which is the top left-hand corner of the change triangle, which means that underneath that drive that we ourselves have determined is costing us too much, and we want to kind of turn down the volume of our perfectionistic drive, because after all, there really is no such thing as perfection. I ask my patients when they say they want to be perfect, perfect for who? Because there's always another imagined person who one time was real that we had to be perfect for to get the love and connection that we needed. So to loosen the grip of perfectionism, we want to first recognize it as a protection against underlying emotions that leave us feeling overwhelmed, too tender, too vulnerable, unable to really tolerate the core and inhibitory emotions which are coursing through our body. And so once we can identify perfectionism as being a defense, that we know there's other emotions that we have to deal with about imperfection and about our flaws and about making mistakes, once we recognize perfectionism as a defense, we've already gone a huge way, because we can now notice it when we start to be perfectionistic and get curious about what's happening right now that I am driving myself and obsessing. What can I learn about my deeper experience? And that's where we begin to work the change triangle to make a conscious decision that we're not going to indulge the perfectionism. And instead, we're going to sit with this discomfort that we can predict, because when we stop using a defense, if we look at the change triangle, it tells us that we're going to begin to feel those inhibitory emotions of anxiety, guilt, and shame, and those core emotions that underlie it of maybe fear or anger or sadness, disgust, maybe overwhelming excitement. There are various, believe it or not, feelings that can be underneath that can lead to perfectionism. So working the change triangle is a lifelong project where we get closer and closer to being more comfortable with our emotions and being able to spend more time in that open-hearted state where we know what we feel, we know what we want, we know what we need, and we can connect and get those needs met and make space for our feelings. So I hope that this inspires you to be curious about perfectionistic defenses that are bothering you and start the road to a healing journey. Thanks for listening. Please know there's many free resources on my website and the Change Triangle YouTube channel, and I hope you will explore freely. Take good care. Bye-bye.